Hi folks, Kieran here again. Hope you're all good. Just been thinking about Christianity and the afterlife. I was brought up a Christian, and I was a Christian till I was age 14. Then I decided there wasn't really enough evidence for God, and I've been an atheist ever since. I did another video about that I can link to. Actually, two videos about atheism before. But until recently, I've always kind of thought that atheism was a kind of pessimistic view. You know, I thought it was kind of the world would be better off if God did exist, or we'd be better off. But recently, I've been kind of thinking that maybe that's not the case. Main reason is because of hell. Basically, according to Christians, or the kind of mainstream Christian view, some people go to heaven and like good people go to heaven and bad people go to hell. You know, good by some definition, or believers go to heaven and non-believers go to hell, or whatever. Something along those lines. Now, let's be generous to Christianity and say like 10 people go, like only one person goes to hell for every 10 that goes to heaven. Now, is that really better for us all that happens than if we just die and don't exist anymore, as atheists think? I don't know. I mean, I think if I had to choose whether God existed or not, maybe I would be kind of thinking, yeah, I'd like him to exist. But maybe largely because I fancy myself as, even though I'm not a believer, I do fancy I'd be able to get into heaven. Maybe on good works or something. I think that would be pure optimism on my part, actually. I mean, okay. So, hell, that's kind of torture for eternity. It's going to be an infinite amount of time of torture. I mean, in terms of, if we had to evaluate that, I mean, we'd kind of have to give that a value of sort of minus infinity value. Whereas heaven, I mean, it could be an infinite amount of time of pleasure, but, well, this is kind of entirely debatable, but maybe there's no point in spending an infinity sort of in pleasure. I don't know. I think that, I mean, pleasure is good, but I think after a while, by definition, it doesn't become less pleasurable. It does sort of become pointless. I think if I had faced an infinite amount of time of pleasure, I think at some point I would just end my life, because I just don't, though I'm not suffering, though I'm enjoying it, I'm not sure there's any point in carrying on. Actually, I did see a video about this. I also linked to it. I forget the name of it now. But kind of life, we feel in order to live, we need some sort of point to, we need to sort of achieve something. But obviously, in an infinite amount of time in heaven, even if you do sort of achieve things early on, it's hard to conceive of how you can keep on having like goals you sort of have to achieve, that are worthy goals. I mean, eventually you are, or pretty much from the start, you will have kind of conquered nature, or you'd be living the life you want, and it would just be like an infinite retirement. Anyway, even if it's some little amount of value, it's hard to see how it's worth someone actually being tortured the whole time. So, I mean, imagine you had to go to, I don't know, you're facing some 11 afterlives, one of infinite torture and the other 10 of infinite pleasure. Would you take that? Would you suffer for eternity for these other eternities of pleasure? I don't know if I would. Anyway, those are my thoughts about the Christian afterlife. All the best.